In this video, we're going to be taking a look at our dessert cart and how it all comes apart. Um, when we designed this dessert cart, we did it with the idea in mind of portability. We wanted it to be budget friendly, and we wanted it to be built in such a way where we felt like the average person with only minimal woodworking tools and minimal woodworking skills would have the ability to build this cart. I would say it's very reasonable to build the cart within one weekend. Um, it took me a better part of a week to do it, but a lot of that was the planning and figuring things out as we went along. Now that we have everything kind of figured out, uh, I could probably build another one much quicker. All right, so let's just take a quick look at what this cart is. You can see it's a good looking cart. The wheel is purely decorative. In fact, on mine, I didn't even put a wheel. And you can see it's still um, a good looking little dessert cart. Um, so it's up to you whether or not you want a wheel, and if you want just one wheel. Some dessert carts just put that on there for decoration. Other dessert carts will have a wheel on the front and the back, so you can actually lift it up. You see these handles right here? You can actually lift it up and move it about. We put a shelf on top of our handles, so there's our handles right there. You wouldn't have to, um, but that's how we did it. So if you wanted it more cart-like, it might look better without the shelf than with the shelf, but that's up to you. All right. So in my case, I didn't really care about the movability, so I did not make my wheels. I did not have a wheel at all, actually. Um, but when we get into the build video, we'll walk you through how to build this wheel out. It's real simple. Um, the way that it's constructed, and they can be functional if you so desire, even if you're building it yourself. You could also buy a prefab wheel if you wanted to, but those are kind of expensive. But this wheel might look intimidating to build, but it's actually real simple to build. I just ran out of time, so I wasn't able to build one. But they're very simple way to construct those wheels and be able to have them functional. Okay, so let's take a look at the cart. I'm going to turn off my handle shelf, and just a quick note on the handle shelf. You can see there's these little cleats that sit on either side of the handle, and that holds that shelf left to right. I should point out also that in our plans, we do give you this 3D model. And this, to me, is the most exciting thing about our plans that you won't find in other plans, is that you actually get a physical 3D model. And this program, which is called Sketchup, it's a free program. There's a web-based version out now that you can open our models in, and you just go to Sketchup, Google Sketchup, and you'll see you can open up the web-based version and open up our models. Or you can download this version that I'm using, which is a desktop application. It was offered years ago as a free application. It's called Sketchup Make 2017. Now, it's very important that you get the Sketchup Make 2017 because that was the only semi-full-featured free version they offered. Now, the company does not have it available directly on their website for download anymore, but the Sketchup Make software is still readily available for download. You just Google it, download a copy of it, and then you'll be able to open up our 3D models and be able to spin them around and get dimensions and take a look at how all this comes together. So at any rate, it's quite useful to have these 3D models. So I'm going to turn off my handle shelf right now, and the next thing we're going to take a look at is a roof. And I just want to show real quickly, the roof are 3/4 inch panels, and there's these little cleats here. And you can see these cleats are in between our uprights, so it will hold the roof panel left to right, and it holds the roof. These little cleats sit on this little horizontal piece and keep the roof from sliding down. So we'll go ahead and turn off our roof panels here and take a look at the next aspect. So we have this top roof support. I'm just going to move it up a little bit so we can see. So you can see there's a little notch in this top roof support that coincides with these notches and it just slides right in. And then these end panels also have a little notch, and they slide into these horizontal panels. Now, the only thing I would caution you when you go to build this is that these dimensions that you're given for these little slots, they have to be basically perfect, because if they're not, then things won't line up like they should line up. So just keep that in mind. The top here is actually a solid wood top. Mine was a solid wood top that I converted out of a 42-inch diameter dining table that I picked up at Goodwill for $15. So I go to Goodwill a lot looking specifically for dining tables. I look at Facebook Marketplace for beat-up dining tables, but that are solid wood. And this one was solid wood. It was $15. It was just a table. It was a little beat up on top, but we sanded it down, basically made a brand new tabletop out of it. And all we did was just cut off the sides and cut off the one end and left this one rounded end. And we got this out of a 42-inch dining table. So let's go ahead and turn off our rounded top. And then I'm going to turn off my wheel assembly too. We'll spin this around. Okay, so what's left? Well, what's left here, let me just show you, see if I can show you this a little bit better. So the red pieces are attached to our two cabinets. We made two cabinets. There's 3 drawers with full extension slides. These cabinets are 27.5 by 27.5, and they're 12.5 inches tall. Both of them are the same dimension. So these red ones are attached to the cabinets, where the white ones are attached to our uprights. Okay, and you can see there's a 45-degree angle there. And what that allows us to do is that allows us to slide. See how this box will just slide right in and out, almost like a drawer. So you can see there, and what we do on those 45-degree angles, we put a little candle wax on there, and that will help that glide in and out like a drawer. Now, when I say glide in and out, it does take a little bit of effort. So they're designed to fit snugly, but once you slide it on there and slide both of them in place there, that really gives a lot of rigidity to these two uprights. Okay, and so these uprights, that is one piece that you need to put in your car, and then that would be the second piece, and then the next big piece are the 2 boxes. Those boxes, like I said, they're 27.5 by 27.5 by 12.5. Okay, and these handles actually stay permanently attached to the top box. So that's it. That's how this cart goes together. So you can see it is pretty straightforward how it all goes together. In the build video, we'll walk you through all the process of building this cart. Definitely could do it in a weekend. You do need a jigsaw for cutting all the special shapes. So we need a jigsaw. We're going to need a skill saw. And then, you know, if you have a table saw, that's great. It's not mandatory. You can get her done. A brad nailer is nice to have. Again, not entirely necessary, but it would be nice to have. If you're going to make the wheel, a router will make this process a lot quicker. But certainly you can make a round wheel with just your jigsaw as well. And so at any rate, it is a pretty straightforward build, especially once we walk you all through it. So it's not terribly expensive. I would expect, if you're going to do the roof in plywood, which we wouldn't have to, we talk about some other options for building the roof. But if you're going to do the roof, the plywood boxes, pretty much you have to use plywood for the boxes. I mean, you wouldn't absolutely have to, but that would be the easiest way to build it, with plywood boxes. So the plywood itself, that's the big expense in this project. So even with plywood prices the way they are today, you're going to be looking to spend about $150 on this project. So not too bad. Now and that does not include the drawer extensions. The drawer extensions can vary quite widely, from $10 a pair to $50 a pair. It just depends on what kind of drawer guide you get. So, but for the lumber and the actual building part of it, you're looking to spend about $150 plus the cost of your drawer guides. Um, so that's it. So I hope that helps you understand a little bit more about how the cart all comes apart and how you might transport it. Like I say, you could probably get it in a decent sized car, but the biggest thing is this side piece here. That top piece is 38 inches, and the whole assembly is 65 inches. Okay, so that's just a tad over 5 foot tall, and just a pinch over 3 foot wide. So if you have a mid-size SUV pickup, certainly you could haul this thing quite easily. Now, are you going to fit it in the back of your Honda? Probably not. Um, but a mid-size SUV, you can get it in there, or pickup truck, and be able to transport it fairly easily. And this was designed where one person could put it together, um, and one person, the pieces, the individual pieces are not that heavy where one person uh, wouldn't be able to handle them themselves. All right. So if you have questions about it before you buy the plans or even after you buy the plans, our phone number is 346-432-6272. We'd be happy to answer your questions. Uh, and if you need help building it, we can certainly lend our knowledge there as well. Thanks for watching.